Hey everybody, Power Rich Homestead, thanks for coming on. I was just going on for 5 minutes and realized that the camera wasn't going. So we're gonna try this again. So I'm making a new recipe today. It's called Mother's Peasant Bread. It's similar to the recipes that you might have seen for farmer's bread, where it's just a shaggy dough put together. So what we want to do is this, instead of making it in a crock pot and heating it up in the oven first, we're actually just going to make it in a Pyrex bowl, and I'm going to do half the recipe for buns because we're having hamburgers for dinner tonight. So I've already got started. I've got 4 cups of flour. Let me put you down here. I've got 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and then in here I've put in 2 teaspoons of yeast, 2 cups of lukewarm water, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. We're just going to add this all together. Scrape out the yeast. Now what we want to do is we want to mix all this together so we get a shaggy dough, and then we're just going to let it sit. And depending on how much water you've put in and how much flour you've used, you may end up adding a little bit more water, and that's just a little bit at a time. You don't want to add a lot. So I'm just going to add maybe about a third of a cup or a quarter of a cup. I'm just going to whisk the yeast out of there too. We'll be able to mix this up better. Now you can use your hands, you can use a spoon. We just want to get it all mixed in as well as we can. Okay, now we're going to let that sit. And according to the recipe, let rise for at least an hour. And depending on if it's cold out or if it's you've got a warm house, you could be it could be longer than an hour. So we're going to let it sit for an hour till it doubles. There we go. Hey folks, so we're ready. It's been an hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at this and see how it's done. It's rose up quite a bit, so I'd say it's doubled. Now, you don't want to knead this. What you really want to do is kind of take it away from the side of the pan with a couple of forks, because you want to get it over there. It's really, really, really shaggy. Shaggy, as I call it. Okay, so we've done that. Now what we want to do is we want to actually split this, because this is 2, so we've got 2 loaves in here if we want to do it that way. So, you can see in the pan what we're doing here. Oops. We are not straight here. Why is this not? Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to split this in half. Perfect. So what we do want to do is our bread pan that we're going to be using, we're going to cover it in butter. I am just going to grab a Ziploc bag, some butter, and then, oops, I'm just going to cover this whole pan. Okay. It's about 2 tablespoons, I think, and that's for both pans, but we're going to do butter on this. And then we're going to put butter also. And here's Cecil trying to start the snowblower. Okay, so we've got that. We're also going to do buns. And I'm going to do some round buns in, like pull-apart bun in the pan here. So we just want to put some butter on it. There we go. The good thing with this is you can just turn it inside out if you've got a little bit of gross stuff. Sticky butter on the inside. Okay, now we're going to take, it still has to rise again in our pan. So we're going to take out our dough. And this is why you need to split it first. Oh, sticky, sticky, see? Very sticky. And then we're just going to put this in our pan. Okay, and we're going to let that rise again. But let's go ahead and do our buns first. So what we want to do is we want to I'm going to do probably about 5, I guess. So we're just going to use the fork. And then we've got like a dough ball. You can think of this as almost doing like mozzarella. Have you ever made mozzarella? You got like these little balls of dough, of goodness, cheese goodness. And I don't think it's going to work because I need a bigger ball. So we're going to do a bigger ball there. And then we'll take this one and we'll split it. Okay, so then we've got one for that corner and one for the middle. All right. Heat up the stove, and we're going to put the oven at 425, and we're going to put these over on top of the stove. I'll show you. And we're just going to put them here by the vent. So there's the vent when the stove comes on. It's preheating 425, and the heat from the vent will help rise these as well. And then we'll give them 30 minutes. The oven should be heated by then. Hey folks, this didn't rise as much as I thought it would. According to the pictures, it should rise up to the rim of your Pyrex dish. I think it'll rise more when I get in the oven, so let's put that in the oven now. Okay, so what we do is we put it in the oven for 15 minutes at 425, and then in 15 minutes we're going to lower the temperature down to 375 for another 15. Folks, that's our bread, and there's our buns for dinner tonight, like good hamburger buns. I did put a little bit of butter over top of them to make them a little bit softer so they won't be as crusty, but that was good. Give it a try. Let's see what we think. Thanks for watching.
Hi everybody. We just had the biggest frickin' snowstorm in a century. So today it's quite simple. It's one big smash burger. So I got onions, spices, salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce. I like doing it this way because when it's done, I will cut it up and put it on Teresa's homemade buns. Those look amazing. Thank you. Come back again.